Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how we're gonna be coloring this Janet Fish project. In her artwork, there are a lot of reflections, highlights, shadows, so you're going to achieve this by using multiple color pencils. And I just have these really crappy color pencils here that are not the Prismacolors or anything like that. If you have better color pencils, they will work much better. So first, you're going to determine where your highlights are, and I'm going to use the lightest color that's around the highlights to kind of block it off. And you want to leave the white spaces white. And this is just going to be a quick demo. And I'm going to add some of these white. And in order for whatever you're drawing to look like glass, you really have to look at where the reflections are, where the darker parts are, so that you can get the correct areas. So what I'm drawing is a flower vase that's a part of Janet Fish's painting. And I've already sketched out part of it. And this is a odd looking vase that kind of curves in a little bit. And then there's a part of reflection over here. I need to make sure that I leave this part white. So I'm going to be coloring a little bit at a time. And you want to start off very light. And you have to look at one part at a time. And there's a lot of different colors in this. Janet Fish was a painter as well as a printmaker. So depending on what you choose, you might have chosen her prints or her paintings. So don't start anything off too dark. There's going to be shades of green in here. And if you don't have the right color, that's okay. Just make do with what you have. And then I know that this part was a little bit bigger. I'm sorry, a little bit darker. And I'm just gonna do one part of this painting, because a lot of you guys were having trouble blending and making it look realistic. I'm gonna take my green because there's some green over here. And I'm starting off light. And if it gets really dark, I am pressing down a little bit harder than I normally would. Some of this over here needs to be blended. And again, if you are copying a painting, if hers is not as realistic, yours does not have to be as realistic, which my colors are just a little bit off. So then I'm gonna go in with my yellow and I'm going to blend it with the lightest shade, because everything kind of has a little bit of this yellow going on. And of course the painting itself is not as bright. See how just by pressing it down a little bit harder, it's already starting to blend? And I'm not even putting the most amount of pressure because I want to go back and add just a little bit more color. And if you blend it all the way, you won't be able to add any more color because there will no longer be a paper surface for you to work with. So if you look, I am blending with the color pencil as I go, and I am leaving the glassy part glass. So you really have to be careful and make sure that all of your color pencil marks are close together. So as you can see, this is already starting to look realistic. So if I was to draw let's say a glass marble, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna do a small glass marble with my color pencil. So the highlight will be over here and the shadows will be over here. Okay, so first I'm shading just like I would shade using a regular pencil. You're gonna use your hatching, your cross hatching lines. As you can see, I'm leaving this blank because that is the brightest spot of the highlight. Then I'm going to slowly add in the shadow because the light source is coming from this way. And then I'm going to slowly blend in and you want to make sure that your pencils are sharp. This is not a very sharp color pencil, but I'm making it work. Those of you that drew an orange for your fruit project, this kind of looks like the orange. So you do still want to use your sketch lines. You want to pick up your pencil. I am picking it up very lightly. You might not even be able to tell that I am picking it up. And then I can already blend the darkest part because I know that it will be this dark. So for the lighter parts, that's a pencil. I'm going to use this yellow. And you can do this using a white or whatever lighter color goes with the color that you chose. And I'm blending it together. And as long as you start off very lightly, everything should blend. And as you can see, this white is already coming through with very little effort. And then I just go in and add a little shadow. And here is the finished marble, orange, whatever you want to call it. Never forget your shadows and highlights.